Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Naruto Was Trained by Hidan. Now, I know I've done something similar to this. So, I say something because I made What If Naruto Was a descendant of Lord Jashin, and I made Hidan kind of train on that one. But in this one, I kind of just got bored and actually thought of this. I don't know. So yeah, I have two new what ifs that I actually thought of. One will be probably uploaded tomorrow. This will probably be uploaded today. If I gotta. Well, after this what if, I'm gonna go talk to Anime Sensei to do part 4 on what if Naruto had a Genkai Rage or Rage Genkai. But I actually want to do this one, this what if first, and then I do the what's it called? What if Rage? Problem is, I just gotta wait until my phone charges. The other one. That's how I have to get this card. Okay, not the point. Let me begin in this one. But before I go begin in this one, so you're probably wondering why Naruto has gray hair and red. Naruto is not gonna be a Namikaze in this one. His father, Minato Namikaze, is not going to be Namikaze. Instead, Minato is actually going to be the older brother of Kakashi. Since, what's it called? Kakashi's father's probably just way older than Minato when he became Jonin. So, yeah. So, with that happening, Kakashi is basically the younger brother of Minato, while Minato has, it's Namikaze, not Namikaze, what am I talking about? What's it called? Hatake? He has gray hair, like gray divine hair and all that, like Kakashi and all that. And of course, he marries Kushina Uzumaki. So Naruto's actually gonna have red highlights with, gray highlights also. Because, yeah. Also, I don't actually see that much in the Namikaze that much. Like, there's not really a point with the Namikaze or any special abilities. And Naruto didn't really inherit the genius from Minato. So, with that happening, Minato, lightning, since he has a lightning infinity, his lightning is not blue but yellow. So, of course, he will still call the Yellow Flash, since he can use, he can still use his Raijin, and also use Yellow Thunder, or Yellow Lightning, however you like to use it, or say it, blah. But yeah, Naruto, he is born in the whole Nine Tails attack, let me mention all that. So, Naruto's actually gonna be the nephew of Kakashi, if that's what you're wondering. Yes, since Kakashi's the younger brother of Minato, he's basically going to be an uncle to Naruto, somewhat, but really not really. Now, since Minato made a lot of enemies, there's something's going to happen with Naruto. But let me explain what happens in the Nine Tails. So the Nine Tails will still happen, and of course this is where Minato, wait, let me say that again. I was about to say Kakashi. Minato Hatake is going against Obito Uchiha. Now, Obito has a mask and all that, and still kind of get Kushina away from Minato by trying to kill his son and all that. Sorry about that. But yeah, after Obito trying to kill, Naruto, Minato managed to grab him, and of course they tip away. Now, Naruto's name is not Naruto Namikaze Uzumaki. It's Naruto Hatake Uzumaki. But yeah, of course, Naruto is running. Minato is trying to give Naruto safe and all that. And of course, with that happening, Obito and Minato still kind of goes the same. But of course, Minato, he uses a Rasengan, but instead of his Rasengan just being a blue Rasengan being incomplete, it's kind of made out of his yellow lightning Rasengan. So of course he managed to paralyze Obito and actually kick his ass this time. And of course the Nine Tails is rampage, it's going rampage and all that. And of course Minato has to think really fast. Shit. What the hell do I think? I gotta seal in my son. So he kind of tells Kushina to wrap up the Nine Tails and all that, while Minato seals the full Nine Tails into Naruto. Naruto has now the full Nine Tails, and of course Minato did sacrifice his life. Now, of course, Minato was the one to take care of Kakashi when he was younger and all that, because their father kind of just committed suicide, or should I say sewer slide? Yeah, it committed sewer slide. God, why am I thinking about that now? But yeah, of course, this is where Minato's dying. Of course, Hiruzen came and says, Hatake Minato. And of course, Minato says, take care of my son, please. Also, Hiruzen needs you to put a genjutsu on him, so no one can know about what exactly he looks like. But please take care of my son. So yeah, Kushina also does the same thing and blah blah blah. Try to not take care of Naruto, but mostly tell them words of encouragement that he can't hear because he's a fucking baby. Can you really remember things when you're a fucking kid? I mean, then again, Naruto really got his ass beat so many times when he was younger. Not the point. I'm rambling on way too much. But yeah, with that happening, Hiruzen says, fine, okay. So what Hiruzen does is put a genjutsu over Naruto. So Naruto will still have the whisker marks, even though he didn't have the whisker marks because he's Hatake. I actually didn't want his whisker marks, but instead, Hiruzen decided to put whisker marks on him, blonde hair, and blue eyes like an original canon Naruto, just to get him away from, well, looking like, what's it called, Minato or Kushina. So, of course, Naruto's name is going to be Naruto Uzumaki, still. But yeah, of course, this is where we do a time skip into 5 years old, and yes, Hiruzen did kick him to the curb and told him to live by himself and all that. But yeah, now Naruto, he is actually running away from the villagers. Now Hiruzen was doing a shitty job, and Danzo decides to tell everyone that Naruto has the Nine Tails. Now, Naruto has the full Nine Tails. Now, the Nine Tails hasn't actually revealed himself to Naruto. He doesn't want to scare the shit out of the kid and accidentally kill him. So yeah. Now, of course, this is where, what's it called? Naruto is 5 years old and actually managed to run out of the village. And of course, civilians, ninjas are chasing after him. And of course, Naruto, when he runs out of the village and is now in, well, a road and all that, he bumps into someone. Someone with, well, just some gray pants, kind of white and black sandals. Has no shirt because Hidan doesn't wear shirt. Now, Hidan is not in the Akatsuki just yet. So yes, this is Hidan he bumps into. Now, Hidan still has the sacrificial scythe and does have gray hair and the Joshin amulet, the what's it called, symbol and all that for being a Joshiness. Now, of course, Naruto's scared and says, please, sir, don't hurt me. He's scared. Of course, Hidan is like saying, what the? He's a kid. And then for some reason, he got a flashback into what's it called when he was a child. Hidan did. When he saw Naruto in his like weird, well, not weird, kind of frightened state. Now, he says, he gets a flashback into when he was younger. Now, Hidan was way younger, and of course, he kind of did get beaten up by some of his, what's called ninjas and civilians when he was younger and all that. When he was in a village. Now, it never mentioned, wait, what they call? Not mentioned, but I don't think, wait, was Hidan originally from the Rain Village? Because it does kind of show that he has the, what's called, headband from the Rain Village. But he was a Joshiness, so really, I don't know. I don't think he was originally from the Rain Village. I think they just gave him that. But whatever. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, Hidan does not have a headband at all. Instead, he just say in his like memory in his back then, people did kind of beat him up because, well, Hidan was kind of poor and had to steal bread and all that. And tried to like kill some people, but of course he fucked up and like almost got killed by people. Now, of course, Hidan did have a, well, how should I say, a thing for cursing a lot. Even though he was younger, he still kind of cursed a lot. But yeah, Hidan just, instead of like, I don't know, hurting Naruto or anything. Now, since Hidan does not know about Naruto being the Nine Tails or anything, or being a demon or anything like that, Hidan just instead grabs Naruto's head, like kind of ruffles his hair. Now, of course, this is where Naruto is kind of like feeling weird because he never felt any of emotions towards anyone except for Hiruzen. But you know, this is just a 5-year-old Naruto, and he doesn't know he got kicked to a curb. But yeah. Now Hidan is saying, "Don't worry, kid. I'm not gonna hurt you. Besides, you're a child. How old are you anyway?" Naruto says, I think I'm 5." And because he like shows his hand and all that. Now, of course, this is where Hidan kind of noticed what's called Naruto's hand. It kind of has a little cut and all that. It kind of is bleeding. Because when Naruto was trying to run away, a ninja did manage to cut him in like the arm. Like, sort of in the arm. And Hidan says, "Why are you bleeding, kid?" So where Naruto was about to explain that, well, there were some people chasing him, until a kunai started flying towards Naruto and hits Naruto in the back. Ah. Yes, only a 5-year-old Naruto, yes. Because this is the ninja that jumped out. Of course, it's like 4 Chunins and 1 Jonin, and of course some Genins that are trying to bully Naruto and all that. Civilians couldn't run fast enough, but they are following this Chunin, trying to lead them towards Naruto and all that. And of course, Hidan says, "Kid." And the kid was like, well, mostly Naruto was like, ah. Now, of course, Hidan says, "Can I ask why you're trying to kill the kid?" Hidan kind of stood in front of Naruto. And of course, this is where the Jonin says, civilian or ninja from another village, if you don't stand away, we will kill you with that demon brat. You see here, it's none of your concern, loser. Now move. This is where the Jonin rushes at Hidan, already having his kunai out. That's where Hidan, he dodges the attack because Hidan is pretty fast, and pulls out his scythe and cuts the man's like head off. Clean. Now this is where the four Chunins are like terrified, even the Genins, cause Hidan cut a Jonin's head so quick and so easily that people are terrified. This is where the Chunin says, "This guy must be an S-rank ninja," which they're not wrong, cause Hidan was called an S-rank ninja. Now, of course, this is where Hidan says, "You all will be sacrificed to Lord Jashin." This is where the one Chunin kind of realized, wait, he's a Jashiness. This is where the other 3 says, "A Jashin what?" A Jashiness, those are people that sacrifice humans to those of whatever believer, God or whatever. And this is where Hidan says, "You're correct. Now, come here and let me sacrifice you." This is where some of them managed to jump away, but one actually managed to get cut down. So yeah. Now, of course, this is where the Genins is terrified and are actually walking away, but they still have their kunai. There's 5 Genins in total. Mostly they're guys, cause yeah. But yeah. Now, this is where Hidan is rushing at what's called the Chunins. Well, the one Chunin that kind of mentioned about the Joshiness are kind of just thinking of running away. This is where 2 of the Chunins that didn't run away or anything threw his kunai at, well, let me say that. Threw their kunais with an explosion seal and hits Hidan. Now Hidan, his arm did explode and all that, but of course, instead of like them saying, "Yeah, we got him," that's where Hidan says, "Puh, you really did get me." But this is where Hidan kind of put his like arm back into his like his shoulder and all that, and it heals. He says, "Lord Jashin, can you please heal my arm?" And of course it does heal. And of course the only reason why it's healed is because, well, he sacrificed a pretty high-ranking ninja. He says, "Since I sacrificed that one dumbass ninja, that was probably strong. Can you please heal my arm? So of course his arm is healed, and all of them are horrified. This is where Hidan rushes at the two with blinding speed and manages to cut them down. Now, since these are only Chunies, they are fucked. Now, this is where the Chunies are dead, and the last one tries to tell the Gennings, run! Don't! This is where he gets his freaking whole body sliced in half. Now, this is where Hidan also kills the Gennings, and this is where one of the Chunies managed to arrive with what's called the civilians, and this is where the civilians are horrified. That's where Hidan looks up. Of course, Hidan was about to go to the Demon Brat and all that. Well, not Demon Brat, no. But that's what the civilians thought of, the Demon Brat. And this is where Hidan said, what are you all looking at? This is where the civilian says, yeah, kill that Demon Brat. This is where one of the Chunin says, yeah, also that Demon Brat must have used his QB powers, or the QB to try to kill them. And this is where Hidan says, QB, whatever, I don't care about this. Hidan said, Lord Jashin, I will sacrifice you all these morons towards you. And of course, Hidan disappears from the civilians and the ninja, because, well, Hidan is called an S-rank ninja. He, of course, his, stats and all that are going to be off the charts for a not even that much of a high-rank tuning. He's only a low-ranking tuning. And the civilians are civilians. They can't keep up with normal ninja speed. So Hidan rushes at the tuning, cuts him entirely half from his waist. Now, of course, Hidan rampaged through the other civilians and killing them left, right. One civilian managed to get him right in the heart, but Hidan wasn't affected. Instead, he cuts the guy's head off. And yeah, now everything around him is all bloody up and all that. This is where Hidan says, Lord Jashin, was that enough for you? Now, this is where Hidan realized before, after praising and all that, he said, Naruto. Or not Naruto, he says, kid. And of course, Naruto is he still has the kunai, and of course, Hidan had to say, damn it. He does take off Naruto's, sort of jacket, shirt, and all that to see how deep the kunai is in. The kunai is not that deep, and of course, Hidan did, take it out, and of course, Hidan did get, one of the civilians, sort of shirt and all that, and kind of put it around Naruto. Not shirt, but mostly, rip it, making it, how should I say, to try to stop the bleeding and all that. Tie it around Naruto. So, of course, this is where Hidan decided to pick up Naruto and, carrying him. Now, Naruto is going with Hidan. Hidan is going towards a shack that he actually saw before coming through Fire Nation and all that. So, of course, Hidan is Hidan is actually going to look for food and is right now hunting. This is where we're going to Naruto, and he wakes up. Now, Naruto is going, what just happened? Now, of course, Naruto's back stopped bleeding because of the QB fully healing it. Because this is the full Nine-Tails, so yeah. And no, the Nine-Tails is not going to try to escape because Kurama is, the full Nine-Tails, so it's basically good Kurama with bad Kurama. So it's kind of nice Kurama and mean Kurama at the same time. Now, of course, is where Naruto says, where am I? Now, he's kind of laying on not really a soft bed that much. It's not even that much of a bed. He's mostly laying on the ground. But, of course, he does have, what's called underneath him are, what's it called? Just rags and all that. He don't manage to just find this and all that. It was only what's called a small, tiny house that was abandoned, but yeah. Now, of course, Hidan is coming back towards the house. Now, Hidan had to kill about 2 boars to, cook it up. And, of course, Hidan did meet some bandits and had to kill them because for sacrifice for Lord Jashin. Now, of course, this is where he had to wash up and all that before he can go up to the kid and all that. And then this is where Hidan opens the door and, of course, Naruto gets frightened. And, of course, he's trying to hide in, in the corner so he doesn't get hurt. That's where Hidan says, "Calm down, kid. It's just me." That's where Naruto realizes it's the man that helped him. Well, kind of pat him in the head and all that. Didn't really hurt him or anything. Besides, Hidan was kind of smiling at that time. Kind of giving him a friendly smile. But with that happening, that's where Naruto kind of gets out of the corner, kind of just crawling and all that. Not really crawling, but kind of moving in like, what's it called, 4 legs and all that. Like, what's it called? Not really a fox or anything, but kind of just goes towards Hidan, and Hidan says, "Okay, good kid. Well, I'm cooking what's called food outside. Since Hidan dad managed to start a fire and all that, Hidan, he can survive and all that, cause yeah, I think you would have learned how to start a fire if you're gonna sacrifice things and be in a ritual cultist and all that. But yeah, Hidan is just starting fire, and of course, his work. Well, he's cooking 2 boars and some fish he managed to catch, but yeah. Now, of course, Naruto, he gets out, and of course, he's walking kind of perfectly fine and all that. He doesn't feel that much pain or anything in his back or anything. So yeah, this is where Hidan says, "Hey kid, are you stopped bleeding? That's a little too quick for a kid to just heal that fast." And of course, this is where Naruto says, I think so. So of course, Hidan like takes off what's called the, not really bandages he wrapped around Naruto, but mostly some of these clothes that he wrapped around Naruto and all that. But yeah, he saw that the kunai, which it had kind of a scar or whatever, or I mean not scar, a cut where it was at before, was gone. This is where Hidan is kind of shocked with Naruto's healing speed, and he says, "What is a QB exactly again? I forgot what it is now. Whatever. I will figure that out later. Right now, I gotta help this kid, his food." So of course, Hidan does serve Naruto food and all that, and of course, Naruto is kind of eating and all that. And of course, this is where Hidan says, "So, kid, what's your name?" This is where Naruto says, Naruto Uzumaki. I think so. Yeah, Naruto Uzumaki. Because this is a 5-year-old Naruto. I don't think, I mean, when you're 5, will you really learn how to talk that much? In this one, Naruto's pretty smart, but yeah. From being born a genius and all. For being somewhat, he kind of inherited that of his dad's genes, but yeah. This is where Hidan said, "Naruto Uzumaki. That's very interesting. Okay." This is where Hidan says, "Well, my name is Hidan, if you are wondering what's my name." And this is where Naruto says, Mr. Hidan." That's where Hidan says, "Don't call me Mister." And so Naruto says, "Hidan." And Hidan says, "Yes, call me Hidan." So Naruto was happy to know that Hidan actually kind of trusted him and all that. And of course, where Naruto says, "Are you not afraid of me like everyone has told me the whole life that they're always afraid of me?" Hidan says, "I don't really care. And whatever afraidness you are talking about, I'm not afraid. Besides, I'm somewhat, if you really like to call me, I'm somewhat of a priest. Or you can call me somewhat like that, high ranking in my what's called beliefs." And this is where Naruto kind of nodded. And so of course Hidan is just kind of eating like a leg of the boar and all that. And of course Naruto's just eating like a couple of fish that Hidan cooked and all that. And so Hidan then asks, "Do you have any like family or anything?" Naruto says, "No, not really. I don't know about who my parents are." And of course, Hidan says, "So you must be an orphan. Do you know why the civilians, or not civilians, those ninjas and civilians from the Leaf Village start chasing after you?" Naruto says, "I have no clue. Even the Hokage won't do anything. Even though I see him as somewhat of a grandfather figure, he doesn't do anything to stop the civilians or ninjas from beating me up." Hidan gets kind of annoyed at the fact that Hokage doesn't do anything. And Naruto sees him as a grandfather figure, even though he doesn't do anything. So of course Hidan says, "So kid, if the Hokage doesn't really help you, and no one else helps you in the village, how about coming along with me and becoming, well, my apprentice? This is where Naruto says, um, yes, please. This is where Hidan smiles and says, then let's go, kid. So, of course, Naruto, he kind of walks with Hidan and all that. So, Naruto has only shorts because, well, I mean, green sandals and all that, and shorts, whatever color shorts again he had. I think they were blue. And, of course, well, his shirt that had the sort of kunai cut and all that. But, of course, Hidan kind of patched that up. But just kind of telling Naruto that, well, we're going to some village to get you a shirt or something like that. Now, Hidan, what he did before he actually, well, kind of left the bloody mess and all that, it took about a few pounds and money from, like, the ninjas and all that. Because, yes, when he can kind of just, like, grab a lot of things and all that to just see if he can help the kid. But, yeah. Now, of course, where Naruto and Hidan are right now in a village and all that. Not the Leaf Village, but just a small village. Hidan did manage to buy Naruto a shirt and also a jacket. So just in case it kind of snow or anything. Hidan doesn't feel that many emotions because Joshin does help him and all that. But yeah. And also does buy Naruto a small knife for Naruto to kind of defend and learn how to fight. So yeah. This is where Hidan and Naruto right now just walking out of, well, the Fire Nation and going into another nation. They're going into, well, the Cloud Nation. So yeah. Or not even the Cloud Nation, So, not the Cloud Village that much, but not even the Cloud Nation or Village or anything. They go into the Hot Water Nation. So yeah, when they get in there, they're just going around, just kind of, Hidan is kind of training Naruto, even though Naruto's 5 years old, in his religion and his beliefs. Now, Hidan is kind of telling Naruto about the, what's called, 4-year anniversary, about when it's actually going to be meeting up with other Joshinas. Now, Naruto, well, not 4 years. Not a 4-year anniversary, but 7-year anniversary for the Joshinas cultists to actually meet up in a Pacific place. So Hidan knows where the Pacific place is going to meet up, but of course is where Hidan has enough time to train Naruto, so he would be 12 at that time and be sort of a master of being in the Joshinas group. Besides, Hidan is not the only one that kind of takes what's called, well, sort of orphans, because he's kind of new in this, because he has heard of those who are in the Joshinas cultists, that he has heard that some people like do take orphanments or orphanments or like kids and all that, and take them into them like as an apprentice, either 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, or yeah, you get the point. So Hidan is kind of new in taking in Naruto as an apprentice. He's not one of those Joshinas anyway. So yeah, he usually works alone, but he just takes care of Naruto because it kind of just reminds him of him as when he was younger. But yeah, so Naruto's learning how to use a knife when he's 5 and 6. And actually does kill some bandits and does have the necklace around him. Hidan did buy him a necklace, and of course it's a little too big, but yeah. So he waits until Naruto kind of matures enough. So the necklace that he bought Naruto is silver and all that. It's, well, silver and all that. Not really by silver. Let me say that again. It's not really silver or anything. He didn't even get one because he has to get to those Joshinas cultists to actually get one for Naruto. So Naruto does not have one. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, instead he kind of just gets, well, what's it called? He kind of goes into a village and of course asks the person to make Naruto some clothes. Since Naruto in this one, he is now 7, so I did a 2-year time skip. So Naruto's actually gonna have a small tanto now, and also his shirt is gonna have his shirt is black, his pants are black, and his sandals are black. But of course, and behind him, he does have the Joshiness symbol and all that. It's kind of just white and all that, but yeah. And yeah. So Naruto has kind of just been training with Hidan, using the Tanto and also the knife. Because he didn't lose a knife or anything. But yeah. They kill bandits, ninjas from different villages. Either mist ninjas, grass ninjas, whatever, cloud ninjas, even leaf ninjas. Naruto kills the leaf ninjas without mercy. He doesn't care. He's been learning about how Hidan kind of uses what's called his different abilities from the cultists. Either to sacrifice more people, every time he sacrifices more people, he will rank up into different what's called ranks into the Joshiness. Because yes, the Joshiness will have different ranks. Hidan will be what's called considered that of the top ranker of Joshiness. Now, I would think about the ranks. I don't know what to actually call it, but yeah. But yeah. So, Hidan is kind of just walking with Naruto. So, Naruto's 7 years old. And of course, Naruto did manage to build muscle and all that. Now, we go back into the village. After, well, 2 years has just, what's called. Let me say that again. After 2 years from the last time they saw Naruto, Hiruzen says he sent a bunch of leaf ninjas to kind of figure out where Naruto's at or anything. They find a massacre where, well, Naruto was at. And actually did find Naruto's blood. And, well, the ninjas that was a cop. He's thinking the ninjas that went after Naruto because he felt stupid for letting Naruto out of his sight and kind of letting the siblings beat him up or anything. Ninjas. The ninjas that were with him and all that, well, were trying to kill Naruto, were 1 Jonin, 6 Chunin in total, and 5 Genin, and also some civilians. But he is horrified. He's wondering what kind of S-rank ninja kind of just walked in and killed him. And also killed Naruto. So he's thinking the QB is actually going to be reforming later. After two more years. But at that time, he's actually getting prepared for, well, either to try to seal the Nine Tails away into another child, which is impossible because there's no more Uzumakis in the village. He can try to seal it into Kakashi, but Kakashi won't be able to withstand it because he's not an Uzumaki, but a Hatake instead. So he's terrified. If the Nine Tails comes back, they can't seal him into someone so they will have power. Instead, the Nine Tails will obliterate through them. Which the Nine Tails is still with Naruto, and Naruto is still much of a lie. But they don't know that. They just found out blood. So, Kakashi is not knowing that Naruto's actually his nephew. But, when Kakashi does find out, he's gonna be having enrage and why he doesn't know about his nephew. Now, Kakashi never was mentioned about his nephew. Well, he did kind of know about having a nephew and all that from his older brother and all that, but he has heard that his nephew died during the Nine Tails attack. But yeah. Now, since that was happening, we go back into Naruto. Naruto has just finished killing off some bandits and all that. And of course, the blood doesn't stain into his shirt or anything because it's all black. Except for the Joshiness crest and all that that's on his back and all that. Since it's white, he has to clean it off again. But yeah. Now, Hidan is impressed with Naruto's progress in killing and actually praising that to Lord Joshin. So yeah. So he will teach Naruto more high-ranking, what's called, not jutsus, but, how should I say, abilities from the Joshiness. So, with that happening, Naruto and Hidan, we do a sort of 3-year time skip. Naruto is now 10 years old, while Hidan, I don't know how old he will be in Shokanen, but yeah, or for Naruto to be 10, but yeah. Now, this is where, what's it called? Well, Hidan does not join the Akazis because Pain still did try to attack Hidan and all that, but Hidan refused to even join the Akazis So he told Pain to fuck off. And Pain was gonna just force Hidan. But before he can even do anything, Naruto has managed to meet the QB. And the QB did says that he will help Naruto. And Naruto has, since he was training for 3 years with Hidan, he did learn some techniques from Hidan and also what from the Nine Tails. So Hidan does know about the Nine Tails. Hidan did want to get remove the Nine Tails from Naruto's body, but didn't want Naruto to die, since he's not sure if he really wants to just eradicate the Nine Tails from Naruto's body by removing it, by using a Jashin ability to eradicate those demons away from a normal human and all that. So think of it like an exorcist. But yeah, he doesn't know if that would actually kill Naruto. He hasn't done that on a Shinriki, but on a normal person that was possessed by a demon, not even a high-ranking demon, it was a low-ranking demon. It wasn't one of the Bijus, it was just a demon. He don't manage to eradicate by what's it called? What is it called? Yeah, whatever it's called. Whatever priests in real life kind of do to demons in what's it called real life. Execute or whatever. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, Hidan doesn't know about the side effects what it will do. So he just lets Naruto kind of talk to the Nine Tails. Now Naruto is able to control 3 tails of the Nine Tails. And of course, he is way faster than original canon, even though he's 10 years old. So when Pain started to attack Naruto, not really Naruto, but mostly Hidan. Now this is a Diva path, I should mention. None of the others, what's called? No, wait, the Diva path was the one to attack with the Ka. Kakuzu. But this one, I'm gonna say that Kakuzu kind of fought against Orochimaru and Itachi. And, well, Diva Path did fight against Pain. Now, Pain did want to try to kill Hidan, but of course you can't kill someone that's immortal. So, of course, he did stab what's called Hidan with 2 rods and all. And Hidan was like, you fucking bastard! And does cuss. And, of course, Naruto's hiding in the shadows right now. So, Pain was like saying, you should have known one thing, you Jashinas. If you didn't join, then I will have to kill you. Hidan laughs and says, you can't kill me. There's no way you're not gonna be able to kill me. I am a Jashinas. You cannot kill me. I am immortal. That's what Pain says. What's an immortal person to a god? Now, before Pain was about to shoot a rod at what's called Hidan's head and all that, that's where Naruto appeared, using the 9-tailed cloak and his 3-tailed cloak and all that, having his Tanto right into Diva Path's Pain's eyes, and actually managed to stab it. And this is where Diva Path screams out. Now, of course, this is where what am I talking about? Nagato was like, what the? Now, the Diva Path was out of, not being in control right now, because Nagato was shocked that someone managed to defeat the Diva Path. This is where Naruto didn't take, didn't waste time and actually stabbed the other eye and cut, the Diva Path's head off. Now, of course, this is where Naruto takes all the rods of Hidan. Hidan is cussing. He's like, motherfucker, that hurts like a bitch. Hidan says, I'm sorry about that, Naruto. Naruto says, it's okay, sensei. Hidan says, stop calling me sensei. I mean, older brother, Hidan. So yeah, he sees Hidan as an older brother. So with that happening, since he was using the 3-tailed cloak and using it way more than actually should have been, he can only use it for 30 seconds. And of course, he kind of started using it more when Diva Path did attack and all that. Naruto used the 9-tailed cloak for about 15 seconds. And not 15 seconds, I mean 25 seconds. And this is where Naruto attacked Diva Path. And it actually took him about 10 seconds. This is where Naruto, he did kind of hurt really bad around his body, since he does use the 3-tailed cloak. But of course, he was like, ah. This is where Hidan says, are you okay, Naruto? This is where Naruto says, yeah, I'm fine. This This is where his hair started changing. His eyes also changed. Instead of being blue, crystallized blue, they changed it to black. Well, one changed it to black. And the other, half his hair kind of changed into highlights of red and kind of highlights of gray. Still had yellow hair. A mature side of his other side, like, I'm going to say the right side, has still yellow hair and blue eyes. Which the other side had his original eye color and his original hair color. This is where Hidan says, wait, Naruto. Naruto says, huh? This is where Hidan says, release. He kind of puts his hand on Naruto and says, release. Sending so much chakra and is trying to get rid of that genjutsu that was based on illusion on Naruto. So the right side of Naruto's face started just changing. The whisker marks that he had got rid of. So Naruto had black eyes, both eye color and other. Actually, it would be one black eye and the other would be kind of crystallized blue because of, well, Kushina. So yeah, that won't change that much. But his blonde hair changed into, well, grayish and red. This is what Hidan says. Naruto, did you ever knew that you had a genjutsu on you? Naruto says, no, not exactly. I still didn't know about my parents or anything. That's right, Hidan looks at Naruto and says, at least the only thing that kind of kept into your eyes was your crystallized blue eye from your right side. But you have a black eye from your, left side. And your hair isn't blonde and you do not have those whisker marks. You had a genjutsu over you. And the disguise genjutsu. Whoever did this only did this to probably stop you from learning your potential or anything. So, the Uzumaki, you do have red hair though. Hidan is thinking about the Uzumaki. Since he did kind of heard about the Uzumaki, about having red hair and all that, but that's the only thing he only heard about. And since he kind of met Naruto, he only met Naruto having blonde hair. But now that he sees the highlights of red hair, but he doesn't know what the gray hair kind of comes from. This is where Hidan says, it must be either stress or another clan that he has. Whatever, let's go Naruto. So the Diva Path is destroyed and all that, and of course you can't really take the Renegons out of the Diva Path because, Naruto stabs both of them. And even if you wanted to even take them out, you can't really take them out, I don't think so. You have to take the original Renegons from the original user. So yeah. But with that happening, this is where Hidan and Naruto leaves. So Hidan is not going to the Akatsu's. So yeah. Now, this is where I'm actually going to leave it off. Have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, and potato. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because I'm kind of tired, not tired, but mostly I'm actually going to go record with Anime Sensei. Well, see if he wants to record. If he doesn't, then I'm going to start on not part 2 of this, but my other what if that I have that you guys are going to enjoy. And yeah, not really, I don't think you care that much about enjoying what ifs, or for mine exactly. But yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato. If I do record with Anime Sensei, go check him out. He is just starting back to, well, make what ifs. And yeah, well, potato.